Hello and welcome to SKTV News. You're watching Primetime English News with me, SUCHITRA Rajkumari. First, the headlines. Any attempt to dismantle unity and integrity of Manipur will be dealt with resolute action, asserts Amuko President Nando Luang as Manipur observes 24th, the Great June Uprising Unity Day at Kekrupat. Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla seeks 1,000 crore rupees from centre to assist in improving economic condition of Manipur affected by over 2-year-old conflict. Foothills Naga Coordination Committee FNCC issues stern warning to Ministry of Home Affairs MHA and Kuki militant groups over proposed relocation of suspension of operations camps in Naga areas. LPG gas tanker drivers strike enters third day, demanding justice for assaulted driver. Tankers stranded at Kaitelmanbi. Manipur reports 3 new COVID cases, taking total tally to 37. State Health issues advisory informing all district hospitals to conduct preparedness drill. Mortal remains of Air India crash victim Lamnun Them Singshan to arrive in Dimapur via Indigo flight on Ahmedabad, Guwahati, Dimapur route on June 19. And now the news in detail. Manipur today observed 24th anniversary of the Great June Uprising Unity Day with hundreds of people including student bodies made up by B groups and local club members paying floral tribute to 18 martyrs who lost their lives during the mass protest that erupted in June 18 of 2001 against the inclusion of the words "without territorial limit" in the ceasefire agreement between the Government of India and the NSC and IM. The observance was organized by the Great June Uprising Unity Days Observation Committee. Speaking on the sideline of the observance that was organized at Sacred Memorial Site in Kekrupat, President of All Manipur United Clubs Organization Amuko Nando Luang reiterated his stand against any attempt to fragment Manipur, while alleging center of creating rift among indigenous communities in the state. Nando Luang further blamed the center for its inaction in the ongoing crisis. He asserted that the present crisis can be resolved only when center becomes serious about resolving the issue of illegal immigration from neighboring Myanmar. The conflict cannot be resolved until poppy plantation is stopped and until illegal immigrants are deported from Manipur. Commenting about center's decision to reduce camps for Kuki militants under suspension of operations, Nando Luang said, Kuki militant groups committed act of terrorism in Manipur. However, center remained indifferent to these acts, and this has created a feeling of anti-India sentiments among the people who felt abandoned during the crisis.
Manipur Tugana when I was a Bharat Sarkar, Maduki Maral, seasoning ever. Madam the Bharat Sarkana, or the Wapun Kayama, false promise Kayama, Adukumba, Kangu Fruit the Impam Weva, Kulai, Bible singer to the Aquai Taza Pirga, Makona Iranka to Holaga, Namdam the Tanka, the Pibam Ama, Ohen Benev. The singer Nicolum de Gimi, Omni Hogi, Iran Sigi, Matunga, Pada, Manipur Gimiam, Law, no life of Wapum Sing. Tamaman, Bakayo women. I do Tower Tabaco and D, Madu Tokaba. Megitang Trampandagi, Mona Loktoba, Sakana, Loktokibam, Indiagi, Union Territory Amadi, Istiatinga, Akwegi, Myanmarising, Amadi, Akwegi, Bangladeshing, illegal Wable, Celebrating, Dictator Hibama Wapam Lake, Tamagi Manunda, Madu Haying Tam Paduin. But when a Manipur be Susi, Bangladesh, Amadi, Myanmar, Wapam, the Myanmar, the Kisapa, illegal immigrants in Geneva. Here is tourism. Asamdana, Bangladesh, in Wembe. Adubo, Manipur, quite easy, Myanmaris and illegal immigrants in sea, President Makala, Manipur, Womena, Megitang Trump and the Tokiba, May Trump and the Gijun Trump and the Tam Pagava, Masimanunda, Myanmarika, illegal immigrant, lady, Kasi dictator, getting a civil to Kagino. Haying Tam Patuino. tampaki lam ga nang leba su gi dignity kem ching asi khara manung interior part khara manung hanjal laga changhan gi gadabani haire gan haiba poram leje masi hekta badadi meaningless oi ba pham amane maram di su se litre ba su le data gadi makoi si unlawful outfit ne ba adu dadi makoi phara ga pullaga as part the law of the land makoi book torga madu ain gi ba chap chap thabak lo khot gadam ne ain gi ba thabak lo khot pak bi mahuta masi smai tora kha changjal leibu su gi kem khara handau ga haibasi political rhetoric oi ba miyam da kanoma drama man ba ma thaba ma tawriye.
On the other hand, Vice Chairman of the Great June Uprising Unity Days Observation Committee, Y.K. Dhiren, remembered the uprising of June 2001, which resulted against a ceasefire agreement without territorial limit. Drawing parallel with the ongoing crisis, Y.K. Dhiren alleged that Centre has time and again tried to divide communities in the state, and therefore it is extremely important for indigenous communities to unite and stand together as one against the divide and rule policy of India. Blood donation camps were also organized at RIMS and Jenims in connection with June Uprising Day.
Manipur ki apun ba saktam kannaba ki damakta lehorga da numit ni habisi ko na kanjaba ko lona hairi bu numit sibu maru aina lawjar kanda miyam ki sahi kuni ko na haikal lekatam ba si tawjabani du lona na si tawjari ba ki maram si hauji shu du mangai lairi ba Manipur ki apun ba saktam Manipur ki national unity sa tugai na bo hona ba maikai ke adagi koi tongan ba maikai dagi koi honor I have say koi puna mangna khangmina ra wafam ni aduna hairi ba si ngak thokke masibo koi puna ama toiba Manipuri auna united toiba Manipuri ma khunai ma semkat ki hairaga di leibi leibi kanglu kuding makki leibra lusingba singna understand to wibam changi shu puni ma crisis puni ma se koi leminari ba kanglu furup singa se si na koi understand to minara kanda koi thabaka si manglom da sangchin gani.
The Great June Uprising Day 2025 was also observed at Sophia English School in Thaubaluang Mataba under Thaubal district today. As part of the observance, painting competition and essay competition were also conducted. Headmaster of Sophia English School A.K. Jugeshwar, Assistant Headmaster Okram Udoy, Member of Institute of Rural Education Ajit Kumar Maibam, along with students, offered floral tributes to photos of June 18 martyrs. Attendees also observed 2-minute silence in honor of the departed martyrs. Apunbaluk Ningthaukong Protection Committee and Ningthaukong Women Wing organized a floral tribute paying ceremony for the martyrs of June 18 incident of 2001 at Ningthaukong Kaithel today. During the observance, members of the three organizations remembered the heroic sacrifice of the martyrs in the People's Uprising on June 18 of 2001 in protest against the inclusion of 3 words without territorial limit in the Bangkok Agreement signed between NSC and IM and Government of India on June 14 of the same year. They also paid tribute to the departed souls. All forms of business establishments except those related to health and emergency services remained shut today as a mark of showing solidarity to the Great June Uprising Unity Day 2025. Shops and business establishments in Imphal East District, including Khurai Lamlong Bazaar, Konung Mamang, Andro Parking, Wangkai and Kongbo Bazaar were also shut. Almost all kinds of public transports were also off the road, except those related to health, emergency services and religious purposes. Similarly, shops and commercial places in the vicinity of Imphal city, including Sagolband, Tera, Kaisampat, Kwakaithel, Yaiskul Moirangkhom, Singjamay, Kakwa, among others, were also closed. There were very few vehicular movements on the road, with most public transport off the road. In response to the appeal made by the Observation Committee of the event, markets and business establishments in state capital, including Khairamban Kaithel, Pauna Bazaar and Thangal Bazaar, remained shut. Shops, markets and commercial establishments were shut in Bisnupur district, marking 24th, the Great June Uprising Unity Day. Shops and markets were closed at Nambol, Oinam, Bisnupur, Ningthaukong, Moirang, and Kumbi Bazar, while lesser vehicles ply on the highways and roads. Manipur Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla has sought 1,000 crore rupees from central government as a special assistance grant for the violence-hit state. In a report that was published at Indian Express, it was mentioned that Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla has also requested an early release of 500 crore rupees of the 1,000 crore rupees to meet the state's immediate requirements, such as clearing the pension backlog and security-related expenses. The report also informed that Finance Ministry has decided to grant additional funds of 500 crore rupees to Manipur as of now towards various projects under the existing Special Assistance to States for Capital Investment SASCI 2025-26. In a communication to Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in May, Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla is learned to have spoken about reduced revenue collection because of the unrest in Manipur. This, he had mentioned, affected the state government's ability to pay pensions, salaries, and other committed liabilities, adding that pension backlogs amounted to 600 crore rupees. It is learned that the Manipur governor pointed to tax revenue losses for the state for the 2024-2025 fiscal at 1,554 crore rupees compared to 1,528 crore in the previous fiscal. He mentioned that the revenue collection for the state in 2022-23 was 1,983 crore, which shows that there hasn't been any significant recovery in revenue collection, and this may affect the state's ability to meet its developmental and security-related objectives. The governor also reportedly told the Finance Ministry that the special assistance grant of 1,000 crore to Manipur will help the state clear its pension backlogs and meet its expenses for security and relief measures for people who have been displaced due to the violence. It will also help the state give its share in various centrally sponsored schemes and aid with taking various developmental measures in rural areas of the state, particularly in the hill areas. Foothills Naga Coordination Committee FNCC has issued stern warning to Ministry of Home Affairs MHA and Kuki militant groups over the proposed relocation of suspension of operations at SU camps into Naga territories, cautioning that such move could trigger widespread unrest akin to the violence that rocked Manipur on May 3rd of 2023. In a strongly worded press release issued today, the FNCC condemned what is described as the forceful occupation of Naga lands under the alleged pretext of establishing a Kuki land. The committee called the move an act of aggression and deliberate provocation, asserting that it threatens the integrity, identity, and ancestral rights of the Naga people. The FNCC accused armed Kuki militants of systematically targeting Naga villages, including Longsai, Nungnang, Tumoyon Kulen, Kaipundaijang, Satang, and Tingpui, among others. It expressed deep frustration over what it termed the government's indifference to these attacks and media narratives that allegedly downplayed the aggressions faced by Naga communities. The committee demanded immediate dismantling of Sioux camps near Naga areas, warning that any attempt to impose such camps would be met with unwavering iron hand. It further cautioned that any provocation would invite consequences similar to those of May 3rd of 2023. Over 100 trucks are currently stranded at Kaithilmanbi due to the steering off strike being carried out by LPG truck drivers following the alleged assault of a driver by a team of Manipur Police Commando on June 15. Speaking exclusively to SKTV News in this regard, some drivers informed that the strike have entered the third day today. He stated that the steering off strike has been launched, demanding suspension of involved personnel. He also added that more than 100 trucks loaded with LPG and fuel have been stranded for the last 3 days at Kaithel Manbi, although trucks carrying other items are still plying on the road. Manipur reported 3 new COVID-19 cases today, taking the total infected number to 37 in the state. The state has 35 active COVID-19 cases as of today, as 2 individuals were discharged so far. An official update issued today informed that 1 new case each were found in Imphal West, Imphal East, and Tengnopal districts. Meanwhile, Directorate of Health Services and National Health Mission, Manipur, has issued advisory for COVID-19, informing that all districts' hospitals have been conducted preparedness drill and have taken necessary steps for inpatient management of COVID cases if need arises. It also informed that the current circulating lineages of Omicron variants are JN1, XFG, and LF7.9. These variants tend to cause mild illness with fever, cough, sore throat, which usually subsides on its own. The advisory also urged public to stay alert and avoid unverified information and to maintain COVID-appropriate behavior like washing hands, wearing masks, and to isolate patients with symptoms. It also urged public not to take antibiotics or other medicines without consulting doctors. The mortal remains of Lamnunthem Singson, who tragically lost her life in the Air India crash in Ahmedabad, were formally handed over to her family by the authorities of Civil Hospital Ahmedabad on Tuesday. Arrangements have been made for dignified repatriation of her remains to her hometown. The body will be transported via Indigo Flight 6E6441 on Ahmedabad-Guwahati-Dimapur route. The flight is scheduled to arrive at Dimapur Airport at 1:40 p.m. on June 19. Officials informed that all necessary protocols and support systems have been put in place to assist the grieving family throughout the repatriation process. It may be mentioned that Lamnunthem Singson was among the passengers who lost their lives in a tragic accident involving an Air India aircraft earlier this week in Ahmedabad. The incident has sent shockwaves across the country, with condolences pouring in from all quarters. Thado Inpi Manipur, TIMS, has submitted a memorandum to Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla, Chairperson of Supreme Court Appointed Committee on Relief, Rehabilitation and Resettlement of Displaced Persons, Justice Retired Geeta Mittal, and Chief Secretary Prashant Kumar, calling for recognition of a third category of displaced Thado persons who are currently residing in other cities outside Manipur, and for those displaced Thado who are not recognized or registered as internally displaced persons by any government authority. In a press note that was issued by Joint General Secretary of Thado Inpi Manipur, Mango Thado, it is maintained that many families from Thado community who fled their homes during the conflict have been living outside Manipur, and they have not received any relief, compensation or rehabilitation assistance from either state or central government since they are not registered as IDPs and they do not take shelter at relief camps in Manipur. TIM further urged relevant authority to recognize these categories of displaced families while also enclosing a list of such families in the memorandum itself. Chief Justice of High Court of Manipur and Patron-in-Chief of Manipur State Legal Services Authority, Masalsa, Justice K. Soma Shekhar, visited Mandop Relief Camp at Ward Number 11, Kangpopi Town, as part of promotional legal aid and awareness campaign. He was accompanied by Justice-elect Muiva, Secretary of Masalsa, and other members of the authority. Addressing the displaced families at the camp, Justice Somashekar reaffirmed the judiciary's commitment to protecting the rights of vulnerable populations. He lauded the combined efforts of government agencies, peace organizations, and volunteers in providing relief to the affected people. Stressing the importance of education, Justice Somasekar said, education is the most valuable asset one can possess, and it is the key of eliminating social stigma. He also cited provisions related to free legal aid for tribal communities, underscoring that we are all brothers and sisters in the eyes of the law. He urged everyone to remain vigilant in upholding justice and equality, regardless of background or status. Justice-elect Muiva, in his address, emphasized the constitutional guarantee of free legal aid under Article 39A of the Indian Constitution. He explained the various legal aid schemes available through the National Legal Services Authority, NALSA, and highlighted the role of Lok Adalats, people's courts, in providing accessible justice. He also informed the camp residents about the availability of a toll-free legal assistance helpline. As part of the visit, Masalsa distributed essential relief materials to 38 displaced families living in the camp. The Senapati and Kangpupi Bar Associations presented shawls to Justice Somasekar and Justice Muiva as a mark of respect and appreciation for their visit. It is now time for a short break. We'll be right back.
I come from Electoral, a small town in Manipur. While growing up, I didn't always see how my voice could shape decision. But I've learned something important. Every vote counts. And it begins with your name on the electoral roll. If you are turning 18 on or before the 1st of July, it's your time. It's your right. Register to vote. Don't wait to be told. Don't let others decide for you. Wherever you are from, your voice matters. Get registered as a voter and be counted. Count me in.
Welcome back. A public rally was taken out against the alleged arrest of several Kuki individuals by CBI and NIA on different charges in Churachandpur today. The rally, organized by Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights in collaboration with Kuki Inpi, Churachandpur, and other Kuki CSOs, began from Koite Playground located at Churachandpur District Headquarters and concluded at Peace Ground, Tuibong. During the rally, protesters shouted various slogans denouncing the arrest of several Kuki individuals by NIA and CBI on various charges and demanding their release. Later, representatives among the protesters submitted a memorandum to Union Home Minister through DC Churachandpur. However, there were no reports of any untoward incident as security force took up measures to thwart such occurrences. Regional Institute of Medical Sciences, RIMS, Imphal, has opened cardiology OPD since yesterday. According to a press release issued by its medical superintendent, Professor N. Sanjeev, the cardiology OPD timing for Monday will be from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at room number 112 and 113 on Monday, while the timings for the remaining days will be from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at room number 10. The All-Tribal Disabled Union Manipur, Abdul, has expressed its deep anguish and strong condemnation over the brutal killing of Jesam Abdul Kadir, alias Achoba, son of Jesam Abdul Jalin, a differently abled person from Paubitek Mayay Lekay under Imphal West District. In a press release, Adum further urged the concerned authorities to take immediate and stringent action against all those involved in the inhuman act, while stating that differently abled persons have equal rights and dignity just like any other citizen. The union termed the cruel and discriminatory treatment meted out to Abdul Kadir as an attack on the entire differently abled community. Citing the rights and entitlements of the differently abled persons given under various sections of Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act and its contravening penalties, Adum went on to maintain that it will extend full support to any action or democratic agitation initiated by the JAC in seeking justice for Abdul Kadir. AMPYA, AKYVO, AKCOC, ANJU Anjuman, Isagi Mushra and Jamaitul Ulama Kwakta have strongly condemned the killing of Jesam Abdul Kadir, expressing shock and surprise on the failure to arrest the prime suspect of the murder by the law enforcing agency till date. The CSOs demanded to arrest all the individuals involved in a crime at the earliest. They also vowed to extend support to the actions and agitation taken up by the JAC in connection with the incident. It may be mentioned that Abdul Kadir's corpse was exhumed from a site at a location in Imphal West District on June 17 after he went missing since few days before.
Mioyo Hazafoba, Father Dolaiba, Simati, the same Pende, Kari Karamo, the Karamo, from the Lola for Farm Tribunal, Lucitara Ladiba, Maria Seda Makatana, Zatia Magamagi, Marakta, Yankinabagi, who comes in one to Yosimatun, Amokana Toruta, Nabagiraman, Asim Laba, Marala, sing a sea, Matikcha Marangi, Dandi, Pihalaga, Tum Tarapada Musitara, Labagi, Lambia Mahangada, Puna Samia Minasi, Asim Laba to Haning the Batodo Asi. Ye atumba wayan fangdir fo bai koi khongkham handara lemin nagane.
Farmers of 9 villages within Sekmai and Haingang constituencies are most likely to face shortage of water during this Kharif season as minor irrigation department has failed to fix irrigation canals that bring water from Sekmai Dam. The canals were destructed during massive flood that occurred in 2024. Lamsang MLA Sorokhaibam Rajen, along with representatives from the affected villages today, inspected the canal that connects with Sekmai Dam. Expressing dissatisfaction over the inaction of minor irrigation department in addressing the issue, MLA Sorokhaibam Rajen said the department did not send any of its engineers for the inspection despite requests from his side. While alleging poor quality during the construction of the dam, the MLA asserted that the faulty dam has jeopardized the future of farmers that depend on the irrigation dam. Speaking further, the MLA also assured to submit a complaint to Governor regarding unfinished boring of tube wells at 4 locations in Lamsang Assembly constituency, which is reportedly being undertaken by Minor Irrigation Department.
Quality control tawdana thabak si sugiba MI department gi hanadagi sum akash bil lawba hainabagi phibam dudaida tawgiba thabak mayam duna ngasi di semai dam pura fail ore semai dam fail oibasina maram orakanda ingang kendra amadi lamsang kendra gi saruk oiriba oirengai wangmada leiriba khunja mapal chahi amagi chaga doriba adugumba labuk sing asi hujik ising phangdadana leire tongana tigi kenel mayam si kai gi badagi aikoina kenel ama somsingya da akoi kacha kenel ama semaga tawbudu hujik andaki inau no recently at thoki Daida, Loina Kunjan Gibaduna Maramoraga, Ising Amabo Maida, Ugo Pangre, Minor Department of Paikat, Kenel Makada, Lomi Prajana, Ising Pangani Adana, Ising Piraga Uniana, Asata, Regal Lagadi, Ekoi, Lomi Kudimak, Loina Maksara, Helaga, Ekoi, Shivagi Pibam de Lere, sport a visit of Virga Leramiba Pibam, other Griba Peshamayam, Ogriba Tabang Dokar, you know, I was a Quarry Matang Toba, Sungani, Idana, Ijaningi.
Kurai Constituency MLA Laishang Them Susindro has laid the foundation stone for construction of the Temple of Lainingtho Puthiba at Kurai. During the function, the MLA also dedicated to renovate the renovated complex of the same Sylvan deity to the public. Speaking on the sidelines, Susindro emphasized the importance of preserving one's culture and tradition while assuring that he will continue to carry out renovation and construction of other worshipping places in his constituency.
ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯂꯥꯏꯟꯗꯧ ꯄꯨꯊꯤꯕꯒꯤ ꯂꯥꯏ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯈꯠꯅ ꯆꯩꯅꯕ ꯂꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯦꯟꯁꯤꯡꯒ ꯃꯨꯛꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯂꯥꯏ ꯇꯤꯟꯒꯤꯗ ꯊꯑꯣꯏ ꯎꯁꯤꯠꯇꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯦ ꯂꯥꯏꯅ ꯌꯥꯗꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯆꯠꯅꯕꯤꯅ ꯌꯥꯗꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯒꯅꯨ ꯃꯗꯨꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯇꯦꯟꯕ ꯃꯔꯨꯞ ꯃꯄꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡ ꯀꯥꯏꯅꯕ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯍꯟꯗꯛꯇꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯒꯅꯣꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯏꯁꯥꯅ ꯃꯩꯇꯩ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯣꯛꯎꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯄꯤꯛꯏꯉꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯔꯒ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯐꯥꯎꯗ ꯈ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯇꯥꯟꯒꯤ ꯆꯔꯆ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒꯅ ꯃꯨꯁꯂꯤꯝꯒꯤ ꯃꯁꯖꯤꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯏꯔꯥꯏ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯁꯟꯗꯦ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯈꯔꯗꯤ ꯗꯣꯅꯦꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯍꯞꯇꯥ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯇꯨꯡꯁꯤꯟꯖꯕ ꯄꯩꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯟꯖꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯂꯥꯏꯁꯪ ꯆꯪꯂꯦꯟ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯅꯤꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯀꯠꯆꯕꯅꯤ.
Displaced persons from More taking shelter at Porompat Veterinary Relief Camp in Imphal East have extended their heartfelt gratitude to Chingabam Akhumaitei of Kurai Thangjam Laikai for his generous assistance in providing safe drinking water to the camp. The relief camp residents have been facing severe hardship following the incessant rainfall that lashed parts of Manipur recently, leading to serious shortage of drinking water at the camp. Since the onset of the heavy rains, the availability of clean water has remained a major challenge for the displaced families, further worsening their already difficult living conditions. Displaced persons have conveyed their appreciation to Chingabam Akhumaitei for his concern and humanitarian support in providing much-needed relief to the affected people during these difficult times. Manipur Innovative Youth Organization Delhi, Mayond, will organize a one-day academic counseling and admission help desk at HRD Academy, Ghari on June 22nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. In a press release, Mayond went on to inform that experts will give counseling and open help desk regarding Common University Entrance Test CUET UG and admission process for universities in Delhi, NCR, and Chandigarh, among others. It also urged interested persons to reap its benefits. Moving on to international news. A volcano at Mount Lewotobi, Laki-Laki in Indonesia erupted, unleashing an 11-kilometer hot ash column over the tourist island of Flores in south-central Indonesia. Officials have issued high alert and has urged tourists to stay away from the site, while dozens of residents in two nearby villages have been evacuated. Images showed an orange mushroom-shaped cloud engulfing the nearby village of Talibura, with sightings reported up to 150 kilometers away. According to officials, a danger zone is in place around 8 kilometers from the crater, and residents have been warned about the potential for very heavy rainfall, triggering lava flows in rivers flowing from the volcano. Meanwhile, dozens of flights to and from Indonesia's popular resort island of Bali were cancelled today after the Mount Lewotobi Laki-Laki erupted. Air India flight from Delhi to Bali was asked to return to Delhi following the volcanic eruption. And now, before we wrap up the news, let's take a quick look at the headlines once again. Any attempt to dismantle unity and integrity of Manipur will be dealt with resolute action, asserts Amuko President Nando Luang as Manipur observes 24th, the Great June Uprising Unity Day at Kurpat. Governor Ajay Kumar Bhala seeks 1,000 crore rupees from centre to assist in improving economic condition of Manipur affected by over 2-year-old conflict. Foothills Naga Coordination Committee FNCC issues stern warning to Ministry of Home Affairs MHA and Kuki militant groups over proposed relocation of suspension of operations camps into Naga areas. LPG gas tanker driver strike enters third day, demanding justice for assaulted driver. Tanker stranded at Kaithilmanbi. Manipur reports 3 new COVID cases, taking total tally to 37. State Health issues advisory informing all district hospitals to conduct a preparedness drill. Mortal remains of Air India crash victim Lamnun Them Singson to arrive in Dimapur via Indigo flight on Ahmedabad Guwahati Dimapur route on June 19. That is all the news we have for now. Thank you for watching SKTV News. You have a good night.